Hi, everyone. We're now getting down to the end game. I mean, we have quite a few steps yet, but you can really see things coming together. The flesh is basically highlighted. We're going to put on what's called enliveners or ushifska, which represent the energy of God. They're the brightest brights. They're these little corner flecks, and it's one of the differentiating things between icon painting and other sorts of portraiture. And we're going to outline the features and we'll do the eyes. So without further ado, let's get going. Okay, so I usually take the last flesh color I used and just lighten it up a little bit. It's not quite as light as Naples yellow hue. And then we're going to do these little flecks that I just described. They're just little flecks. And see how I flick my wrist a little. If you're not getting much on it, you might have the paint might not be wet enough to flow for you. I like the liner brush because you'll get a nice thin line. You don't want anything too fat and you don't want it too bright because you don't want it to look like war paint. Always have a brightness there. A couple flecks on the nose. Our brightest bright areas, this area above the brow bone causes our forehead to stick out a smidge, and a little bit on the chin. You can do on the neck too if you want. And I'll just put maybe a little one there. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of burnt sienna on the iris area. Okay, anything out of a tube, you have to get enough water in there that it'll flow for you. And I'm just going to do this so that it can dry. So 2 balls of color, basically. And while that is drying, I'm going to go and outline my features. Okay, I call this flesh outline color. I have mixed my halo red, which is Indian red oxide, about 25%, and about 75% naphtha red light. And then I put a little bit of red earth in it. That's my flesh outline color. You can also take Zankir and put a teeny touch of black in, or you could use red earth. It really depends on the tonality. Every once in a while, I do one of those other colors. I'm just going to make sure my balls of color are around the same size. I'm going to go back. It looked like it was drying. It caught my eye, though the one eyeball looked a little bigger than the other. I constantly adjust each step. I try to rein them in to get them about the same size. Okay, so let's outline these features. I usually come down one side of the nose and around the tip. Got that a little curved. line. And then if you don't like a line, I am going to take those off. How about that? Didn't like that line. It's always good for me to do that here and there so you can see that things are fixable. Let me go back and I'm taking that line off. I didn't like it. Okay. I'm gonna do our eyes. One line there. One line there. For our lids, whoop, drop my brush there. Butterfingers here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Come down around the ear. Okay. Now I'm going to come down this nose. Come around the tip. Okay, now do the lip. Okay, and that's the flesh outline, pretty well done. And now we can go and do the eyes. Now, where you put the whites directs the gaze. And we do them rather like commas. Make sure I'm not getting my hand in wet paint. I might have to do a little bit more on that ear over here. Get anxious to go on to the next thing. A little bit of a comma in there. Okay, and now I'm going to take a little bit of carbon black here. Now I attach my pupil to the top. Floating pupils sometimes makes them look a little crazy. And I'm not liking that brush, so let me get a better point here. Get a little liquid in here. Everybody always seems to have trouble with the eyes, but they're usually a pretty easy fix to get them around the same size. Okay, so now I'm going to take this nice thin brush. This is the part that's a little tough. And I'm going to try to get it right on the first try with the camera. You never know these things, though. Okay, so we do an eyeliner line. Another eyeliner line. My hand doesn't want to flow there. Let me go reinforce that a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to come around that eye. Come around the iris a little bit. All right, gang. They look pretty good. I might play with them a teeny bit more. Just put a little bit of, got that line a little wide. Might have to go back and do a smidge of burnt sienna if I get any black in that eyeball. Just gonna take a little bit of this unbleached titanium. All the colors should be written in your notes there that I use. This is unbleached titanium, and I use burnt sienna for the iris color, and carbon black for the outlines and the pupil. Okay, I think we're about done. There you go. So we did enliveners, we outlined the flesh, and I may take a, well, no, I'm not going to. The curls layer, the rule for what gets the outline is whatever lays on top. And the curls are laying on top of his neck here, and then this garment is as well. So they'll get the outline color. I think I will put a little bit of a red line on this one, because the garment kind of sits to the side of the neck. There we go. Alrighty. So I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm just going to adjust that little black line here to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll be done. Eyes, enliveners, and flesh outline. Thank you.